guess what? It's after the Derby. It's actually about a week after the Derby now. I finally pulled this thing out to get an aftermath. As you can tell, it's super muddy out today. To be honest, I think that's what kind of led to this car having such a good demolition derby, was a slippery, small, well, it wasn't really that small, but it was a slippery track. It was kind of small. It was a fair-sized track. To be honest, it was a fair-sized track. So in the beginning of the derby, I started driving super careful with it because, listen, I seen all your guys' comments. I knew that this thing was not going to be the next Imperial. I knew that. But I wanted to go out there and have a good time. Tech went very easy for me. The only thing that the promoter said was he didn't like where my gas tank was. But I explained to him I plan on using the back of this car, so I don't really know how far stuff's going to come in because I've never seen one of them run before, so I'd rather put it there for safety. I have a crossbar. You've seen the crossbar. And there was other cars that had their gas tank there, so they let me run that, which was nice. So look at the back of this thing. So let's start up here. I did take a strut shot pretty hard. I don't know what got me. It may have been a Camry. It may have been something else. The strut is bent, but the sway bar link actually hit the frame. So if you were able to put blocks behind the struts, that would be a pretty intense little front end, I think. I don't have an alternator in this. I don't have a water pump. I don't have power steering. So the car was not really that good in the ring when it comes to maneuvering, but because of how light it was, I was able to steer it fairly well. I did get a flat tire, this one right here, in the heat, but I didn't really use the front end too much. I think I hit maybe 2 or 3 people with it. No full-out kill shots. I think I did one actually aggressive shot with the front end. The bumper did kink, which I knew was going to happen, but it's held on good still. It's starting to rip off, but the frame is still straight, and the subframe mounts is all good, because that's like a 3/8 thick aluminum right there. So all that seems to be pretty good. Let's go to the side. I did take a door shot. I don't even know who did it, nor do I care. Someone got me good right there. They ripped right through all the sheet metal. I don't even know what that thing is. Maybe a speaker, maybe. This right here was my own doing. I ended up hitting a Lumina rear tire driver side to his rear tire driver side. It's not that bad. How hard that collision was, that is actually not that bad. I was pretty impressed with that. Now, as of the rear frame rails, the bumper got ripped off pretty much instantly, which I'm okay with. Didn't really think it was going to stay anyway. All it was held off on was with these little things right here. This tire stopped turning. I'm not sure why, because there's no brakes or no nothing in there, so I don't know why it stopped turning. I think it maybe happened after the derby. Clutch felt good. Motor ran good. It was getting a little hot near the end. It stalled a couple times, and I think that was because I think 2 of the times I got hit hard enough where my foot came off the clutch pedal, and one time I thought the brake pedal was the clutch pedal, so that kind of sucked. That's a little bit interesting of a rip mark right there. That looks like somebody's bumper ends. I don't think the sheet metal is overly that strong on this car, but I do want to point out that the rear frame rails never moved on this car. If you were able to put threaded rod in the back of this and maybe a better bumper on the back and maybe get a little bit extra height, because it is a very low car, I think that this thing actually might be half decently competitive in a small track. Maybe not like a track like Bash for Cash or Mini Meltdown or Blizzard Bash, where the tracks are fairly large and they allow for lots of speed, but a smaller stock track. I think that this frame is pretty robust. Again, in the front, if you were able to put strut blocks behind it and a better bumper where you could actually connect the sub and the frame with a plate steel and then run a really good bumper, and because of how it's kind of set up, you can actually move that bumper a little bit higher as well. I kind of think that this would be an okay build. I'm not saying this thing is going to take on Camrys and Luminas and walk away a champion, but I think with how small it is, how nimble it is, you'll be able to maneuver around in these tight tracks, especially when there gets to be 10, 15 dead cars. You're going to be able to maneuver around no problem because of the short wheelbase. And the other thing is that I really noticed about it, it's really hard to get a tire shot on this car. Because of how big the door is and how small the actual car is, to be able to get a clean tire shot on driver's side is extremely difficult. Even the rear tire is extremely difficult to get a good tire shot. There was a couple times when people had a good tire shot and I was able just to kind of maneuver my driver's door to make them scared to not take the shot. Now, if you're allowed to hit the driver door, don't frickin' do that, okay? But these rules are you were not allowed to hit the driver door. But I'm just saying that this car actually did impress me. It impressed me so much that I actually haven't taken it to scrap yet. And why is that? Because I kind of want it to run again. What I'd like to change is I'd like to try to get a water pump in it. I don't give a crap about the alternator. I would like a water pump. I would get rid of the radiator, loop the lines, and get a better bumper on the front of this thing. That is the things that I want to do before it runs again. And maybe a set of doubles. Maybe. And get the rear tires freed up. But honestly, guys, the car starts up really good. When I got there, it would not start. It drove on the trailer the day of the Derby. It would not start at the Derby. I actually had a couple guys come over and help me get it started. Thanks out to Taylor's demo team, and Matt. Anyway, I gave him permission to spray paint all over my car. There's the Taylor's demo team. I was there to have a good time, guys. I didn't go there to win. I want to just enjoy a demolition derby for once and hopefully have a good time. There was a little bit of controversy. Some guy said I hit his driver door. I manned up right away and said, listen, man, I really don't think I hit your driver door. And I edited the footage and sent it to him that night. He still hasn't watched the video. So I manned up and said, listen, I'm sorry. If I hit your door, I'm extremely sorry. He actually told me that his helmet hit my rear pillar. I said, listen, I don't think I got you in the driver door, but if I did, I'm extremely sorry. I edited the video, sent it to him. I definitely didn't hit him in the driver door. Driver will remain nameless. But I went there to have a good time, and it seems that there's still people that make the derbies unfun for me. I just went there to have a great day. I brought a Mini Cooper. I didn't bring any of my Camrys. I didn't bring them. I brought a car to go there. I didn't expect to make feature. Like, honestly, guys, when I went there, if I didn't get DQ'd for the fire, I would have made feature, and that was phenomenal for me. I asked them if there was a consi. They said no, but I just want to have fun at these derbies. I don't care if I win. I just want to go have fun. I'm tired of it being so much drama that I just want to give up the hobby. I don't want that no more. I just want to go have fun. I'm trying to be as nice as I can to everybody. The Taylor's demo team made me feel amazing at this derby, and that's what this is all about. I don't go to these derbies to win. Well, I do kind of go there to win, but I go there to have fun. I go there to relieve stress, and it just seems to be like when I go there, it's just more and more stress every time. But shout out to Taylor's derby team and Matt. You guys did great. Matt actually, I believe, won minivan, so congratulations, Matt. Great driving. Yeah, so let's get to what took me out. I sold a massive amount of parts off this car, and apparently one of the things I sold was the dipstick, because I am a dipstick, and there's oil everywhere. So I think that the valve pressure, the crankcase pressure was coming out the dipstick hole, which was making oil go everywhere, and it just caught some stuff on fire. Not a big fire. They actually asked for my fire extinguisher, and I said no. As soon as he used my fire extinguisher, he DQ'd me. There was no two-fire rule, and I was in 6th place, and they were taking top 5 to feature, and while they put out my fire, another car died, and my car refired after the fire, because I thought I was going to be able to drive away, and they said, no, you're DQ'd. So from that, I could have made feature if I was able to keep going, but unfortunately, I did not make feature. I had some issue with spark, and very weak spark with this thing when I got there, with the coil packs. As far as I can tell, this is a Mini Cooper motor. Sorry, a Dodge Neon motor, just downsized a bit, and the UK version. So I would buy the MSD ignition for this. I actually had that on one of my PT Cruisers, and it made a huge difference. Or I'd just buy a new one and put it on there and plug it in, because I think this thing kind of has some shitty spark. I'd put 4 new spark plugs in. At the Derby, we pulled all 4 spark plugs, cleaned them up, turned the motor over with no fuel on, cleaned out all the excess fuel, and then tried to start it. When I turn it off, I turn the fuel pump off, let the car run out of fuel, and then I'm able to refire. So anyway, I'm really impressed with this car, is where it's going. And honestly, guys, I just want to have fun. I don't want to go to these derbies and have my fuel line cut by competitors. Don't know who you are, but I know you did it twice. I don't want to go there and have fist fights from other derbies. And it seems to be the stuff that I really enjoy running. Like, the only demolition derby that I actually enjoyed running last year was Mount Forest, where I ran that Honda Civic. And I was kind of hoping to recreate that feeling with this Mini Cooper, and I kind of had that. But hopefully the season gets funner for me, and like I said, guys, I don't care if I win. I brought a Mini Cooper. It's like, I definitely brought a knife to a gunfight at this derby. I'm not saying there wasn't other knives there. There was some bone stock Honda Civics, Corollas, the Eddie's Elantra was another knife, but there was some very well built Soleras and Camrys and W bodies there, and I just wanted to go have fun. So thanks everybody for watching. If you're curious what took me out, it was a fire, and they had a 1 fire rule, so as soon as I had that fire, I was DQ'd. If you guys are curious if anything bent, nothing bent. Frame straight, sub straight, rear frame rail straight. Everything is still straight on the car except for 1 trailing arm. And I know exactly why that happened. But honestly, guys, I would run another. I'd like it to be another 5-speed though, because I don't think the automatics have the punch to get out of the way and push cars. I was actually pushing some of the Camrys crossways across the track. Now that could have been because it was icy. It could have been because I was able to get the power up because of the 5-speed. I don't know, but I would definitely run another one of these cars. But thanks everybody for watching. Make sure you come back. We're going to be building some new cars this year. Some stuff that we've bought. I got an F-250, but unfortunately it's scrap. I don't like doing the trucks. They're just too heavy on my trailer. There's not too many shows around here, and the guys that have these trucks have them dialed down, so I just go out there and get slaughtered. I got a Chevy with a broken frame, because Ontario Rust, you guys must know Ontario Rust. And I got this Explorer, but this is the wrong year Explorer. This has independent rear ends and a lot of aluminum, so it's pretty much scrap. But we have some shows that we've registered for that are quite a bit of miles away from our house, so we'll be starting to pull some of these cars into the shop. The Tacoma is almost at the point where it will drive out of the garage, and we'll be able to get a demolition derby car in there very shortly. So thanks everybody for watching, and as you can tell, it's super foggy, and the Mini Cooper is ready to go home for another little rest until we figure out where we can run this next. Take care, guys.